Hello, this is Samurai Lens, and today I will recap an adventure horror movie from 2014 titled Backcountry. Spoiler alert, watch out, bring your drink, and take care. You and your partner are discussing a great camping trip in which you forget your worries. You get things ready and proceed to a Canadian wilderness, but unexpectedly, the scales quickly turn, and this beautiful journey turns into one of the most terrifying experiences ever. Not only losing your phones and food, but fighting for survival against a man-eating bear. How scary. Alex walked to the car to meet his girlfriend Jen as they both packed their necessities for camping. They entered the car, played games while driving, and sang till they got to the park. They enter the office of the park ranger who gave them access to a canoe, asking that the canoe should be brought back last Monday. The park ranger gave Alex the map to the park, but Alex rejected the map, saying he knew the park was like the back of his hands. The park ranger asked Alex where he was going, and Alex replied he was going to the trail. The park ranger informed him that the trail had been closed and no one was allowed there. The man gave him a medical kit with a whistle and allowed them to go. As they drove to the seashore, Jen was on her phone. She finished the conversation she was having, dropped her phone, and they used the boat to get to the other side of the camp. Trying to park the boat, Alex got injured by the boat. He gave Jen the whistle while Jen brought out her bear spray. He helped her put the spray by her side, and they continued their journey. They camped by the seaside and entered the water to swim. It was getting late, so Alex left to get some wood. By the time he would come back, he met Jen having a conversation with a man called Brad. Jen informed him that Brad had fish and they could all have dinner together. Alex wasn't comfortable with the situation, so he called Jen into their camp and asked her if she was fine with it. They agreed to let Brad stay for dinner. During the dinner, they got to know Brad was a tourist guide, and he would guide anyone who wanted to explore the woods. Alex asked how much Brad's service was, but Brad said he didn't know the price the guest was charged. He only knew his own salary price. Jen came with potatoes. Tasting the potato, Brad commented that Alex was lucky to get Jen, and Brad asked what was the lovers' plans for the camping, and they told him they had no plan. Then Brad said if he was the one dating Jen, he would take her to marvelous places in the world. He would take her to see the lake and show her the trail. He said he would take her to places not on the map. After saying all this, he asked Jen if she needed him as a guide, and Jen rejected his offer, saying she already had her guide. Since Jen had rejected his offer, he attempted to leave them. He saw Jen's panty on the floor, held it, and gave it to her. After Brad left, Jen apologized to Alex for inviting someone that weird. Alex went for his axe, saying he would have to use it if Brad came back that night. Due to Brad's words, Alex decided to take Jen into the deep part of the lake and decided to show her the lake. As they journey far into the woods, Alex's injury becomes more painful. That night, Jen helped Alex clean his wounds and wore socks for him before they both went to bed. At night, Jen heard footsteps and voices. She woke Alex up and then told him to listen attentively. Alex told her no one was there, and they both went back to bed. Alex woke up first the next day and went out of the tent and saw the whole place was destabilized. He saw the bear's footstep, but he didn't tell Jen about it. When Jen came out, she became paranoid, seeing how everywhere was. She asked that they go back home, but Alex reminded her how much they had planned for the trip, so they summoned up courage and continued. They continued their journey to the lake that day. On their way, Jen smelled a scent around and told Alex about it, but Alex dismissed her worries. She left Alex and diverted her steps towards the direction the smell was from, and they found a half-devoured deer carcass. They left and continued to adventure. Jen fell on the way, and her boyfriend helped her out and washed her face. Upon getting to where Alex thought the lake was, they found out the place was empty. Jen asked Alex for the map, and Alex said he didn't take the map because he thought he was conversant with the location. Alex said the last time he visited that trail was when he was at high school and he was lost. Jen got angry and tried to reach out for her phone, but she couldn't find her phone. Alex confessed to her that he had taken the phone from her because he didn't want her to get distracted. In anger, Jen began shouting at Alex, saying he does different stupid things just to impress her. She called him a failure, saying he doesn't think before doing things. She asked why Alex brought her down to the trip, because she never wanted to come. Alex told her he brought her because he wanted to propose to her. Then he walked away. Getting to the tent, the couple reconciled. They treated Alex's wound, kissed each other. While they were kissing, they heard the footsteps of a bear. They screamed, and the bear left. Unknown to the couple that the bear was attracted to the smell of Alex's blood. Alex woke up first the next morning. He woke Jen up and opened the tent's zip, only to see a bear right in front of their tent. The bear looked at Alex while Alex closed the tent, hoping and praying the bear wouldn't come. The bear broke into their tent and took a bite of Alex's leg. Jen removed her bear spray to chase the bear away. As the bear left, Jen tried to help Alex with his legs, but before she could do anything, the bear came back and dragged Alex out of the tent. While the bear took a feast out of Alex's body, Jen took the ring and ran away. She eventually stopped, wore her ring, and shouted for help. Jen was all alone in the woods without food, water, not tent. Jen slept in the tree. She woke up at the sound of a helicopter. She screamed for the helicopter, to no avail. She noticed the bear was still stalking her. She eventually got to the waterfall, where she drank water and ate the fruit Alex offered her earlier. She tried to escape the bear, so she tried to climb down the waterfall, but she slipped and broke her ankle. She limped all through the park that night and used her road flare as lighting. The next morning, she collapsed on a tree due to the injuries of her wounds. Waking up, she saw a caribou surviving in front of her, and it motivated her to survive too. Miraculously, Jen made her way to their canoe and paddled herself to the riverbank. She collapsed at the riverbank when she saw Brad, who was about to take some visitors on a tour. Brad ran to her to help her. Thank you for watching, guys. It was Samurai Lens, and I'm excited about the next movie recap video. Don't miss it. Subscribe and share it with your loved ones. See you next time.